It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Alright, destroyed remnants Rena. What a place this is. Jeez. Like a fun place to hang out,
So
and my
this is Rena.
special owls seem to have appeared
This
throughout
is where
Dana.
everything
Oh!
began.
Discover
Yeah,
all the
it's a
owls. We
dead
got a
world.
new
I won't
quest.
let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Okay. Good to. Why is there a field action thing over? Oh, is it just to get? Oh, it's just to get back on the ship. Let's see the thing here really quickly.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Well,
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Looks like there's another party chat.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day,
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait
Nice
for somebody
freeze
else?
frame.
We can show them ourselves.
Well then, yeah, don't need to take off right now. Okay, first of all, my Dookie was twitching in her sleep a moment ago. I don't know if she still is. Second of all, freaking during the set of cutscenes, the Mad Lad Guzma comes out of nowhere and drops the freaking 1000-bit bomb.
So now that everything's been revealed, what's your thoughts on the whole thing?
Oh, the Texas. Maybe I should turn up the sound of the Texas speech. But with everything revealed, my thoughts on the whole thing, I feel like there's gonna be something crazier going on with this Great Spirit. Like, what's its motivation? Like, no one just wants to make like a world of darkness, unless this is the true final boss of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers, I guess. But for the most part, no like believable villain would just want to make this. There's got to be something that this is all going towards, some like motivation. I feel like I kind of really like when it comes to like all the things being revealed. I really like the underlying message of like everybody, all the people really are just the same, you know. And it makes you wonder, like, even in our own world, like how different really are what we classify as different races, because it really isn't very much like at all genetically. It's like
I wonder
point
what Helganquil's
000 a whole
civilization
lot
was
of
like at its
zeros,
zenith.
1% or something.
I can imagine
ridiculous
that'd be
like that.
something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
And there's another thing for Bob.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow! Seriously, what the hell?
I need a plaque that says "Get him, Hoodle."
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegus.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
You know, that's a problem in our real world, is creating creatures a specific way. Like, usually just through, like, selective breeding rather than genetic modifications. That's still pretty new. But not necessarily because they're going around causing mayhem and, like, ravaging towns and travelers and all that stuff. I'm talking more so cases like breeds of dogs, like pugs, for example, that literally have trouble breathing because we, you know, selectively bred them in a certain way to be, like, a certain size and shape to where pugs now have trouble breathing, for example. And it's like, oh, maybe pugs shouldn't have been selectively bred into existence in the first place if that's, you know, the way that things turned out. So, you know, creating creatures in specific ways is a problem in our own world as well. But anyway, what I was going to say earlier about, like, the whole idea in this game of the people essentially being no different after all. I really like that, not just as, you know, a plot point within this story, but also with its underlying message. Like, I really love analyzing games I really like analyzing games through the lens of how they make arguments. And this game initially started with, like, oh, all the Danans are being oppressed and they're like the innocent ones here, and all the Renans are freaking evil, as Mermaid Man would say. And but as the game went on, it started to show, like, hey, not all Renans are evil, not all Danans are, you know, exactly innocent. The world is never black and white. And then, like, the big reveal at the end where it's like, they actually are the same people. They've just found themselves in different circumstances here that made them act so apart. it makes you think of how that connects to like our own real world, where it's like, you know, humans originated all together in generally the same area, but over time they branched out and to all different parts of the world, and then when they run into each other again, it's like, oh my gosh, you're a completely different race of people, when it's like, you know, we at the end of the day still share a common history and such, which I find very fascinating, because, you know, you'll forget about this common history that was once held, or maybe it wasn't properly documented, or maybe it was like purposefully erased in the case of this game. But, you know, I just find it very fascinating.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Let's hope we're not under-leveled. Oh my goodness gracious, we are. Level 53, we're 47. I haven't had a spot to grind for like 3,000 years, a new spot to grind. The last place was that dungeon on Lenegis where the freaking enemies were like early level 40s or something like that. Is there a new place I can grind now? Maybe that secret fishing spot. But like, well, we'll certainly try. We'll certainly try here. Oh my goodness, I feel like I have, oh, more onion rings. I feel like I haven't actually played this video game in 3,000 years, so I feel like, in a way. Maybe, oh, it seemed like they don't have a whole lot of health, so this isn't meant to be like a dedicated boss battle, but we are under leveled, and that makes things scary. Level spike in these areas. I really hope there's a place that I can grind coming up here pretty soon. Oh my goodness, he's already using his Mystic Art. Because we haven't had a new dungeon to grind in 3,000 years, so if this is the beginning of like a new dungeon, then maybe after a little while will be a good place to call the stream and do some off-camera grinding before the next time, you know? They all share health. They seem like they still do good. Should do. No, don't you dare kill me before I pull off my Art Mystique. Don't you do it. In which case I probably shouldn't be using a whole lot of my health to do stuff like this. I should be focusing more so on just avoiding the onion rings. Can I like... Okay, good. Good. I was worried that I freaking screwed up by doing the Blazing Sword input for... Why is the sound effect just so much louder? It's like adjusting the sound effect settings in the options menu doesn't affect this one part for some reason. Because it's the $22.99 one, I guess? It's literally the $23 art. It's too... I guess it's too good to be in the same menu as all the other sound effects or something. I don't know what's going on with that. Oh, maybe they don't all share the same. Oh, it's probably each set of 3 shares their... Oh, no, okay, I don't know. I guess those 2 just happen to have like really close health. It's not like that one boss. They exploded? What creatures does that remind me of that explodes when its health is low? What is that making me think of? I actually don't remember. I think of something that blows up when it gets low health and it's annoying. I don't know if it was from this game or a different one.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danon slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder
It's what
if
it's
we're
coming
going
down
to
to.
get attacked
Look
again.
at this!
If we lose heart now, this
Said it
whole
before.
mission's over.
I'll say it again.
We have to stay the course.
I think this is one of, if not the most graphically impressive game I've ever played. Like, just being able to go through a hall and look to your side and you see that, and it's like...
I thought there'd
Jeez.
be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil. seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
That's a good question.
We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To think of the promise their accomplishments once held. They had the potential to be great indeed.
Do you think we could have got along with them? You know, if we had met under different circumstances. Like
all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
Before the Fire
You and
Nation
Alphen
attacked.
both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Another one!
Just look at the size of that thing. The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. No, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Danon, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
It worked for them, why wouldn't it work for us? Wasn't there already, like, technology in this freaking game and world that would only work for the Renans, for example? Why wouldn't there be technology that would only work for the Helgonquin? Also, it looks like this is indeed a place that you can grind and such, so I'll make some progress in this dungeon. Now, we might wrap up the stream in a little bit, and then, it's gonna be my new place that I grind. But gosh darn, I can't pick up the grape. Man. Oh yeah, and there is also freaky typos in this game, isn't there? Bob, onto that conversation. What's through here?
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
Oh, this. But first.
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danons?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danons. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danons too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
That certainly is an interesting way to look at that. Most definitely. In a way, you could almost say that free will is both a blessing and a curse. Sure, upper level, second floor. Sure. Just in case there's a cutscene here, I'm turning off the cameras. Well, it's a freaking elevator ride on the way down with the battle. That's cool. Yeah, I want to get further in the dungeon because I want to have like a good place to grind before wrapping up the stream with a whole bunch of enemies. Not just that little corridor we had before with just the one set of enemies that have to reset over and over and over again. Because that sounds like it'd be a little bit ridiculous, you know? Whoops, I messed up my timing. I messed up my timing a little bit. Smackaroo!
I'll crush you!
And there's Law doing his thing. Oh, by the way, before I wrap up the freaking stream to strip, we haven't had like a campfire in 3,000 years. I haven't been able to have a campfire party chat in 3,000 years. I wonder if we can get a new Mystic Card for anyone at this point. If I just went and specifically rested in a campfire somewhere, you know? Because we haven't seen a campfire in 3,000 years. Is the thing. I'm looking over at OBS and the freaking sound effects still seem kind of loud, honestly. It still kind of seems like it. Oh my goodness, you guys are mean, aren't you? Smackaroo. Come on. Do this again. Down you. Is what I better do. Come on. Can we get a strike, maybe? Nope, not there. At least not what you're gonna do. We get a strike here. We can do a strike here, at least. Smackaroo. Yeah, I doubt not every time you take these elevators into a battle again. It's probably not gonna be just keep to grind. I'll use one more Swallow Blade so I can Smackaroo. They cancel out my Smackaroo. I don't know what cancel out my Smackaroo, but yeah, I can go to campfires when resting up, but I don't want to show any of those conversations when not streaming, is the thing, you know? I was saying going to the campfires more so in terms of like this stream, to see some conversations and potentially get closer to second Mystic Arts characters like Law. Hello, Reginald. How are you doing this morning? Strike! Look sharp! Time for Law to do things again. Smackaroo. Cool. Well, then we smack you, and then... So more and more are appearing. Is it like a time thing? We have to take out a certain amount. It seems like there's going to be a lot of dudos that want to fight us on this elevator, is the thing. Well, what am I doing? Might be impossible to do on stream, but to do some of them, I mean, is the thing. To do at least some of them is what I mean. Whoop. And then, come on, big smackaroos, please. Well, we got some damage. Oh, it's 1 every 30 minutes. Oh, interesting. Well, now I know. We'll prioritize Law, though. Look, he's freaking it overlimit again. There he goes. Also, I should probably do this, I guess. It seems like this is going to be a longer battle, I guess. It seems like, and I should probably be using these and stuff as well in that case. This is what I should probably do. Smackaroo. This should give us, like, a butt ton of XP, though, right? Each one of them also get one as you progress through the game. So you should be able to do all of them at this point, as long as there's, like, 30 minutes between them, you're saying. Or something like that. As long as you do... I wonder if you can change, like, the clock on your, your PC to, like, work around that. If that's a thing. I don't know. I don't know whether it be or not. He's an overlimit again. Oh, I love it. It's so ridiculous. Come on, Smackaroo. Yeah, it can certainly do a lot of damage. No, come on. No, I'm missing. Ah! Max out is 6 campfire chats. I don't know how many I've had with Law up to this point. I am not quite sure. Come on. Big Smackaroo. The biggest of Smackaroos. Yes. Cool. Wait, just send a cyclone through the whole elevator. That won't damage it at all. Everything's perfectly fine. If this doesn't give me the greatest butt ton of experience I've ever seen in my life, I'm going to sue. Well, I won't sue, but like, I'll be mad. I will be royally mad if this doesn't give me like the greatest butt ton of experience I've ever seen in this game. You know, like this absolutely should. Maybe even this will solve some of our underlevel problems, you know? Because this is so many enemies. This has to give us like a metric ton of experience. Watch, the battle will be over and I'll just be like 5 experience points. I'm actually gonna rage quit if that's what happens. If it's something like that, I will be so mad. Come on, boopity bop. Well. Okay, so Mirage is the one that just goes right down. So I don't want to be doing that one there. I want to be doing one of my other mid-air ones. I really don't use the mid-air ones enough. Where'd the bee go? There's a bee? Oh my goodness, there's more stuff. Imagine if that attack just sent the elevator straight to the bottom, automatically ended the battle. Hey, then we'd be at the bottom though. Would be the thing. We would be there. Would be the case. Well, I mean, come on, big smackaroos. Is this the last bee? I could have sworn there was more enemies. How many times does Law uses Mystic Art during this? Nobody else has used their Mystic Art during this battle, but if Law's used it like 4 or 5 times. Oh, then we can freaking strike it. Do the Cyclone again. Sure. That. We did it. Look at this. Okay, well, it gave us a pretty decent bit.
I got your back.
Well, decent bit. I kind of hoped it would be more,
Even
honestly.
in such a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures
Yeah, there's still creatures here.
here.
You think they're native to Rena?
Well,
Or could they be Zoogle somehow?
Whatever they are,
I
they're
don't know
dangerous.
what they are.